Before you plant your fig tree, you need to consider the location. Fig trees need a lot of sunlight. I would say 8 to 10 hours is ideal of direct sunlight every day during the growing season. You need well-draining soil. That's extremely important with figs. And if your soil isn't rich in nutrients, you're going to need to amend it with organic matter or some type of fertilizer. Be very careful where you choose to plant your fig tree. If you're planting a standard variety that is not a dwarf of any kind, be sure your fig tree is at least 20 feet away from buildings or other structural things, sewer systems, other pipes. The roots can be very damaging to structures, so be very, very cautious where you decide to plant this tree. That being said, if you're planting a dwarf variety, you have a lot more freedom with where you're going to plant. Here is the location where I'm going to be planting my fig tree, right in this little area here where it's all mulched. I'm planting a dwarf fig variety today called Violet de Bordeaux, if I'm saying that right. Only grows up to 6 feet tall and is much less invasive than many other fig varieties. This soil is very low in nutrients and organic matter and very well draining, so drainage will not be a problem. This area gets a ton of full sun all summer long, so that is good. And I'm hoping that even though it's only 6 feet tall, it will actually shade some of the other plants that sometimes are scorched in our summers. So I think it's going to be a good location. This fig was in our backyard and it just wasn't thriving, so it's going to move to the front. This is where our fig is going to go, and let's plant it. So start with digging yourself a hole that is ideally a fair bit larger than your root ball. So here is the hole that we just dug. We're going to add some organic matter from my vegetable garden, some good soil, and get this tree planted. Here is the fig I'm going to be planting. The root ball is actually pretty small compared to the size. The root ball is actually pretty small compared to the size of my hole. I'm just gonna stick it in. Hopefully you can see that on the camera. Hole is actually a pretty good size. The hole is actually a pretty good size for the fig tree. So we are going to add some good nutrient-rich soil that came from my vegetable garden and get this tree planted. So I'm just going to start adding some of my very nutrient-rich soil. Just dump it out of the container here. And spread it out around my fig tree. We're just going to give this guy some water. Thank you for watching this quick little tutorial on how to plant a fig tree.